Micro chest rigs. Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Talking Spiritus Doge Hat. Today we're going over a topic that I've been seeing float around, got on Instagram for a little bit now, and that is the topic of the usefulness of micro chest rigs. And that is something that I wanted to take on head on and compare and contrast a chest rig to a more conventional chest rig, right? Full disclaimer, we'll kind of talk about this, but full disclaimer, I'm no expert. I never got paid to rock a chest rig in harm's way. I've worn chest rigs before, you know, on the flat range, maybe even going to like the, you know, I hate to say it, but like an airsoft event or something like that. And that gives you a little micro sample and a little bit of knowledge on how chest rigs work, right? Am I no expert? No. Am I close to being an expert? No. So take everything I say and do here on the channel with a grain of salt. That's always my big disclaimer, right? I still think I can talk about it and we can kind of logically think about how do we use certain types of pieces of kit, right? Hey, look, listen, why you keep moving away from me? Listen, I know you're on the toilet watching this right now. Feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section down below. You guys often wonder, how does he know I'm on the toilet? Well, where do you think I answer all of your YouTube comments from? For one thing, this is going to be technically a battle jacket. So this is, it's a chest rig battle jacket. This is the Pattern 83, right? This is, I wanted to go like on the extreme end because in between there's a Pattern 83 chest rig, but I wanted to go on the extreme end and maybe do more of like the battle jacket, which is like a load-bearing vest type of setup. This is on the extreme end of kit, right? I gotta take this real quick. Yeah, I'm almost up. Pizza rolls are done. Yeah. I'll let the camera guy know. Hey, pizza rolls are done.
Pizza time.
Where you have, on this kit, you'll have 10, 12 mags on you, 2 frags, you have leader pouches, you have back pouches, and so there's a lot going on with this kit. Now, compare and contrast this to, this is, and now keep in mind, these are very small sample size platters for what's going on here, and there's a bunch more different types of kit made by different companies, different points in history. But I'm just working with 2 right now. And this is kind of like a catch-all for their genre, right? So that's what I'm trying to get at. Now, this is gonna be a Haley Strategic Micro chest rig, okay? Now, there's no flat pack on it, but I just wanted to rock the chest rig and a little dangler, right? So one reason I wanted to kind of talk about this is that I feel like, logically, different pieces of kit have different uses. Different pieces of kit have different uses, right? If I was going to expect a more, a heavier fight, a longer duration of me being out and in a dangerous situation, I'd want to bring more mags, I'd want to bring more life sustainment gear, I'd want to bring more options on my person for, say, that confrontation. So a heavier load-bearing vest makes sense, right? Or a plate carrier with more mags makes sense, right? It has armor, it carries ammo, has IFAKs on it, and all that stuff, right? A micro chest rig isn't necessarily something that I'd look into for going into harm's way. This is like, I think of a micro chest rig, me personally, as a point of convenience. Now, no disclaimer, this is all opinion based, right? So opinions are like assholes, we all have them and they all stink. So how I think of the micro chest rig is a more, I'm not trying to get into confrontation. I like these micro chest rigs more so for carrying stuff in a convenient fashion. If it's one of those things where I was going on a hike in nature and I'm not looking to get in patrol in a gunfight, yeah, I'd like to have a micro chest rig on me. You can carry, you know, maybe a sat phone or a radio. You got a tourniquet and a knife. I got my HK USPC with a spare mag, and I got a flashlight over here. You can have maps or a medical on you, snacks, a little bit of sustainment stuff for a fun hike. And you don't have to worry about like trying to put a holster on your body where it's rubbing against you during a long hike. You can kind of mitigate a little bit of stuff and gear usage on your person and place it all in one convenient spot. I kind of like that for micro rigs. Now it's funny because I see these guys and I see pictures of it. I'm not sure if it's like actually his post, but I saw this gentleman and he was a heavier set person, right? He had a lot of extra weight on his body. That wasn't from gear, it's from being out of shape. What that issue is, he had like a micro chest rig on, and it was like 3 mags, and then he had 1 spare mag, and then I think he had like 2 pistol mags, and then he had his handgun and his rifle. And I think he's saying like, I prefer speed and mobility over being weighed down by extra gear. And I'm not trying to make fun of him, it's just, because that'd be like really mean. It's just like logically, it's like, hey bud, you're already gonna be slow. Like you can't run fast, just from a factual standpoint. And I worry about like guys that rock the whole micro chest rig, that's their thought process. Like, yeah, I should be good. I should only need like 3 mags. You know, I won't be doing any suppressive fire because all my hits will be A zones from 7 yards away, and they have this weird, like, distorted view of how their gunfight's gonna go. And it's like, hey, listen, if you're thinking about it from like a logical standpoint, not every one of your rounds is gonna hit the target. You may need suppressive fire for your boys to move and shift on a target. You know, granted, I'm not a tactics guy, but I would expect, in seeing combat footage and seeing tactics that military groups use, you will need suppressive fire to, you know, keep heads down and move about in a dangerous environment, right? In a non-permissive environment. All right, hey, so we're getting old Travis Haley right now. So hey, we got the just like that. All right, I can transition over to Travis Haley. So, okay, Travis Haley impersonation aside, I know he's the clone father. The old chest rigs and larger chest rigs also do that, right? They also have more options for mags. You know, I have chest rigs that hold, you know, up to 8 mags, 4 pistol mags, you know, 2 frags. That's good stuff, right? And that is for a fight. That's like a standard like combat loadout. That is what you're going to go take into a fight and actually use. I'm not taking a micro chest rig into a fight. If I'm wearing a micro chest rig in a fight, something has gone wrong, and I did not want that fight. So that's like the big difference to me. There is a purpose for a micro chest rig, and there is not a purpose for a micro chest rig, and that's kind of the thing to me. You know, sure, you can mix and match kit. You can use kit for different needs. Say you have a kit, you say you have a piece of kit that you want to use, and you think, okay, there's a good application for this over here, and that's cool. You know, that's really fun how that can plug and play and work. But yet again, it's like, hey, I'm gonna need three rifle mags on my micro rig kit. We're gonna go into a heavy gunfight. I have really bad news for you. You will probably die. So don't do that. But as far as the convenience goes, you know, if I was like out camping and I wanted to go on a hike, this gives me an option to carry more stuff. It really does, and it's all in one convenient place. And I don't like having a lot of weight on my hips, if I'm being honest. I don't like rocking heavy belts. I don't like having, you know, if I'm moving around for a long duration of time, you know, if I'm trying to conceal carry a handgun on a hike, or, you know, if I'm open carrying, I'd rather have all that weight on my chest. Now, big disclaimer though for carrying a handgun on your chest rig is, depending on how you secure it. Just for a quick video example, this is just tossed in there with the holster, right? You can also ditch the holster and toss it in there. The level of safety does go down with that anytime you're working with a handgun and the trigger is exposed. One reason I chose the USP is that it does have a double action, and it has a safety. So there is a little veil of safety there, but ultimately what I would do is just, you can take a piece of Velcro, put it on here, and then you run it in there, and then it should retain decent enough in that holster. And then you can also take, you know, say a bungee cord and loop it in there, and you can retain your pistol a bit better. You know, if there's any wildlife you're worried about, you know, say like a mountain lion or anything like that, you get to your handgun. And of course, having a knife on you is always great. This is just one of those kits where it's like a small little, and I say you could throw it in a bag or something like that. Yet again, it's not for like going out and taking on a lot of bad guys. That always blows my mind, is like guys have this misconception of this issue. So you want to have more mags. You want to have more ammo. Typically guys, it's better, you're going to win a gunfight if you have more ammo than the other guy. If the other guy runs out of ammo, it's no longer a gunfight for him. It's like it's a survival fight. So that's something I'd encourage you to do. Like I've never been in a gunfight, so take it with a grain of salt, but I have a pretty good inclination of if I ran out of ammo because I brought my micro rig and the guy shooting at me still has 5 mags left, I'm probably gonna lose, right? So think, Mark, think. You know, so I just want to make a fun little quick video on that. I already have a lot of footage wearing both the platform of, you know, micro rig and the Pattern 83 battle jacket, so I figured we'd throw that footage up and compare and contrast what it's like wearing them. And you know, we as gun guys, we always really get into the weird tiny minutia of kit and detail. You know, I see guys on Instagram, you know, where they're talking about how they tie up certain pieces of kit and what they use materials wise, and it's like, I love to see that, because you know, it's being detail orientated is so important, because the devil truly is in the details. You know, it's really like cool to see guys that have a lot of, you know, combat experience, a lot of life experience, a lot of experience, you know, where they got paid to carry a gun. And where that is valuable is that they have a lot of like intricate knowledge about kit. They have so much knowledge they're probably forgetting about stuff, if I'm being honest. And so that's really cool. And you can take that, and they're sharing that openly. So go follow a lot of these guys on Instagram. Learn from guys, you know, learn from reputable guys, of course. Get good training. Do that kind of stuff. Like this, I'm preaching the Sermon of the Mount right now, and it's the worst sermon you've ever heard. The worst part about doing like a YouTube channel is that I'll be thinking about stuff out and about on the fly, and then I'll be like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll write it down. But there's often a lot of times where I don't capture ideas, and I'm like talking about it, and I'll be like talking to myself in the shower or in the mirror about like a video I want to do, or like how the exposition wants to go. I actually do put a little bit of time and thought into this, and then I forget it all. I'm like, oh, that's a really good point. I'll be talking to myself. All right, so with a micro chest rig, we could be doing this, and then I come out here and I just draw a blank. So such is life. Hey, gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Your comments are a sacrifice to the algorithm god, a god of which who enjoys micro rigs and larger chest rigs. Feel free to support the channel in any way, shape, or form if you do feel so inclined. Your support is greatly appreciated. Patreon is an excellent way to support the channel, as well as merchandise. It's expensive running a gun channel, and YouTube doesn't like me too much either, so I appreciate it greatly. As always, gentlemen, stay easy, stay breezy. I will catch you all on the flip.